Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Taylor Jones. And do you have any idea what time it is? Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, TC Jones Edits, and my YouTube series, Cold Man's Winter Season 4. Now, for those that watched my last video referring to conflicts, thank you very much for paying close attention. But since it's the holiday season, as in Merry Christmas, you guessed it, I'm here to give you yet another episode of Cold Man's Winter. But what am I going to talk about on this holiday season? Well, on the special day, Christmas, it's best to talk about some shenanigans, as in what's it like to deal with bad surroundings. So I'm going to give you an episode of Cold Man's Winter based on the question, what is Christmas? Now, when you think of Christmas, you're thinking about getting together with a lot of people, family and friends, relatives, but sometimes it's not easy because when it comes to a good type of Christmas, there's also a bad type based on weather conditions like icy roads that you gotta slow down, drive slow, and or stay at home for safety reasons, and also cold weather. It's not easy to escape, but there's an old saying that's like this: all birds must fly south. And yes, also as a bad example of Christmas, you got to realize that a lot of people, they do dumb things, violent things, vulgar things, and that leads to, like, let's say that there's this one individual by the name of Darren, Darren Hughes. He was 18 years old, fresh out of high school, and enjoying his life on his own. Even though after he graduated, he moved out and he had to take his shenanigans with him, referring to the fact that he has to make decisions and learn how to become a man. But due to his friends, who was actually gang members, he actually proved that he was worthy, he was loyal. But Darren and his gang had a big conflict with another gang on the other side of town. And let's just say that his his rival gang was led by a guy named Raymond. And to be honest, Raymond was somewhat dim-witted. He was like not so bright, but he still gets respect. And he just didn't like how Darren and his crew like walk on their territory. I mean, they look like a real gang because they like to wear flannel shirts, color coded black and white, followed by either Timberlands or Chuck Taylor shoes, while Raymond and his four-man crew actually was rocking leather bombers or maybe Letterman's jackets with the thumbs down airbrush on the back of their jackets. And they've been drinking 40 ounces, 40 ounce of Colt 45. And they always like to start some fight. But based on who started this territory between Darren versus Raymond, Darren is like the wise one, even though he's trying his very best not to get caught up and start leading his crew to an early extinction, like as Busta Rhymes would say, the extinction level event. But instead of that, it's a gang war between Darren and Raymond. But unfortunately, Raymond was fed up with his with Darren's crew getting in the way. So he didn't even have a gun. Let's just say that he didn't, but Darren did. He knew exactly how to shoot. He learned how to take shooting lessons from his father before he had to go to jail because of something that he didn't do. But he was racially profiled, and guess who actually put him behind bars? It was Raymond. Because Raymond, he accidentally shot a police officer, and he acted like, oh, Darren's father. But before Darren's father went to jail, he told him this: I may not be with you because of the fact that I was accused and found guilty for a crime that I didn't commit. You got to know when to stand up for yourself, learn how to fight, and be responsible. Even when it means to stay out of trouble, like you still got to go to school, stay in school. And I guarantee, once the smoke clears, I'll be out soon to reunite with you. And that was that. But Raymond, despite he was a dim-witted leader of a gang that he made, his own four-man crew that he made, let's say he started making diss tracks. He actually did a couple diss tracks, so it's kind of like he started this gang war. He made Darren Go Away. That was his first one, which a lot of people took offense to it. But the other friends that Raymond grew up with, they supported him. Even though it's kind of like that didn't make sense. However, Raymond was not going to let Darren go this far, because he actually dissed him on a daily basis. Heck, he had a 15-day. He made a diss album called Darren Hughes and the Losers. Well, what did he call himself? Raymond did. He called him Ray Ray. Ray Ray? No way. So, Raymond, he did a lot of diss tracks. All diss tracks. 15 songs dissing on Darren and his four-man crew. And he even lied about having guns. But, unfortunately, December has arrived. And this happened. One random day in the neighborhood, Darren was in the holiday spirit. He was about to give his mother a nice outfit. He had a dress, a flannel dress, followed by a pair of golden hoop earrings and black leather boots. Unfortunately, let's just say that when he was heading home, he was all by himself because his other guys from the four-man crew, they had some beef, had some issues to take care of, some business to take care of. Let's just say that Raymond's crew gave him a quick visit. Yo, what's up? Oh no. And all of a sudden, they decided to take the presents that he was about to give Darren was about to give his mom, and they just pushed him around like monkey in the middle. And even though one of them took some licks, like punch him in the gut, yo, guess you stay away from Rayford's territory. And that's like that. He was threatened. And also, not to mention, he gave one of the guys gave Darren Rayford's diss track, and he also said that not only to stay away from Rayford's territory, but take a hint, your crew ain't crap. So all of a sudden, they threw the presents on the ground. Hot mess. And they just rolled out. And they roll out of the 72 Dodge Charger. But since Darren heard the diss track, the diss album, aiming at him and his gang, he finally had to respond. But instead, he responded in a parody, a spoof of Jingle Bell, Jingle Bell, Jingle Bell Rock, but he called it Load Up My, Cock Up My, Shoot Out My Glock, or the Jingle Bell Glock, because in his mind, even though he remembered what his father said before he went to jail, that his mother was not pleased about this. Now, Darren, I don't think you deserve to do that. You have no right to kill him. Well, I'm not under your roof anymore, Mom. That so-called gang had some nerve, without the leader, to harass me, push me around, punch me in my gut, and gave me a diss album. And yes, it was parentally advised with explicit lyrics. But Darren, he did the opposite. He did a diss track. He responded with Jingle Bell Glock. And it goes like this. Load up my, cock up my, shoot out my Glock. You've been talking so much noise and I wish you could stop. You started to diss me and talk about guns, when in reality you have none. Load up my, cock up my, shoot out my Glock. Call my foreman crew, let's meet around 7 o'clock. With ski mask and gloves and we're dressed in all black. You need to watch your back, because the night time is the right time to rid some souls away. It's been on my mind since you crossed the line. And now we're cruising in our box Chevrolet. 85 Caprice rolling deep in the streets. Destination is your hangout spot. Since you started mumbling, you'll have a thing coming when I shoot out my Glock. So that's what happened. After releasing the song, he started making copies, and almost everybody from Darren's neighborhood, even the neighborhood where Rayford and his gang was at, Raymond and his gang was at, they were surprised. Like, some of the individuals from Raymond's neighborhood, they had enough with Raymond and his so-called gang. But Darren did the unthinkable. He did what he said in the song. He called the crew at 7 o'clock, driving in a 1985 box Chevy. It was black. They're dressed in all black. Ski mask, gloves, Colt 45s, Magnum 357 revolvers, and I mean, they actually did what is considered a drive-by shooting. Like, you know he ain't gonna do it, man. That song is whack. Oh no, the song was actually better than Raymond's 15 track diss album. But he kept it clean, but he still kept it gangster. Darren did. And then, hey yo, what's up? Oh no! And all of a sudden, the car starts to roll up, and then Gunshots were fired. The four-man crew ran away, but the leader, the dim-witted Raymond, he fell. Yo, stop. Yo, man, what you doing? It's time to take him out. Because at the part of the song, he mentioned, like, whenever you hear Jingle Bell Rock, you have like a little instrumental before they repeat the "It's the right time," da, 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 da. But Darren, he later sung this line. All our guns are cocked. We have fired some shots. Your four-man crew ran away, but your body dropped like X marks the spot. There's no escape like Raid, you're about to get sprayed. There's no escape like Raid, you're about to get sprayed. So, Darren, gloves on, ski mask on, silence. Raymond, game over. And all of a sudden, Darren, he pulled the trigger twice. Two to the chest. Now your shirt turned red. You no longer represent your block. Now we're on the streets while you're laying deceased, 'cause I done shot out my Glock. Wait, despite we were washed, we left without a trace. No description left for the cops. No, no, no. Heed my warning. Whenever you are dissing, you will end up missing. When I load up my, when I cock up my, when I shoot out my Glock. Take that, double crosser. No. Boom. Let's go. And that's exactly how the song ended. But I was comparing it to the drive-by thing that Darren got himself into, that he got involved with. He actually killed his rival. He killed Raymond, left without a trace, but after the other three clowns spotted a box Chevy driving out the scene like quickly, they went back to check on Raymond. But dig this. Raymond is dead. That's what I said. And then 2 days later, Raymond was buried. Darren's mom was disappointed that she knew about the murder based on that song. Based on Darren's response to Raymond, it's like he actually won. Not by default, but based on the fact that Darren really killed his rival. But he was celebrating celebrating Christmas. However, 2 days after getting murdered, on let's say a Friday night, Sunday afternoon, Raymond got buried by his four-man crew. They were so peed off. But I figured, since this is kind of like Darren had to retaliate after being caught up in the swarm and jumped, and his Christmas gift was in ruins. His mother was disappointed in Darren, yeah. Meanwhile, a knock on the door at Darren's hangout spot with his gang, it was heard. And guess what happened? The door was kicked by one of the police officers, and the guy that answered the door and unlocked it, he knew it was a trap, and he was on the ground. Don't move. And everybody else, and Darren and the other guys, they had their hands up like, you know what? What's going on? Somebody probably snitched on us about that little incident, that drive-by. What? Who would do such a thing? Now, I feel like Darren retaliated after being looked upon like a fool for stepping over the dead man Raymond's territory. But it was also like a double retaliation for for his father, Darren's father, being in jail over something that Raymond did. So, and of course, the police interrogated him and he had to tell the truth. And he even mentioned that everything that he said on Jingle Bell Glock, which was the first and only response song that he did towards his rival gang leader, it really put Darren's life in constant jeopardy. So later on, it was going to be like a naughty Christmas behind the jail cell. All of the four-man crew, Darren's four-man gang, was all tried for being involved, but who would snitch on them? One of the gang members that was under Raymond's wing. But since Raymond is dead, the tables have turned against Darren. And even though they did tell the truth, Darren Hughes and his gang told the truth. Instead of serving 25 to life, let's just say that they had to serve 18 months each. Darren had to serve 18 months in jail. And a couple of months, his mother came by. Because I figure like the first time Darren's mother stopped by to see him in jail, she was supposed to be mad. But he realized that the so-called Jingle Bell Glock thing, it was a little too far. To expose a rival gang leader and to kill him, that was like a big blowout, a big bad sight. And you know why a lot of people do bad things on Christmas as much as good things. But Darren Hughes, he was not going to accept a lump of coal. He had to do the time. You do the crime, you do the time. He was 18 years old. He never had college on his mind yet. But a lot of inmates, they asked him if it was true. Did he pull the trigger? Yes, I did. But the rival gang snitched on me. That's one good reason why I'm here. They retaliated because I killed their leader. That's not the way it works. A 4-man crew turned to 3. And now my whole 4-man crew is serving 18 months. We all serving 18 months for a drive-by. And his mother actually said, you know, there's something that I should have told you a long time ago. I used to be in the gang life. And I was young, dumb, naive. I remember what it was like to kill my opponent, my rival. Did you regret anything? I have. And just like you, I served 18 months. But instead, I was 17 at the time. And I graduated high school in the summer, so I had to make up my wrongs. But I thought you graduated in the spring. Why summer? Well, let's just say that I had some tutors to help me get through. I mean, my grades didn't make up, and I made sure to get everything done, get everything set up. And I even had to work on controlling my anger. And it actually worked out for 5 months. So, and this is way before I had you. I had you at 18 years old, and I didn't even go to college because I didn't know if the society was going to accept a black woman like myself to do the right thing after getting out of jail. But it's like an old saying. Mama said there'll be days like this. And Darren and his mother got along, got in contact, because she told the truth to her son Darren. That's like you're starting to bring the goodness in Christmas, but in jail. But Christmas, it's just gonna be just for a couple Christmas. He gets out in 18 months. But what's shocking is that the same jail that Darren went to, he had a surprise from his father. One day at lunch, his father came to him, wrapped his arm around him. What are you doing? Oh. You took my advice and killed somebody, did you? Yes, but how'd you know? Because, Darren, I'm your father. So, it was like, Dad? No way! So how long you got? Me and my 4-man crew got 18 months. Giving me some time to think and try to set my life straight. And when he said 18 months, he's like, that's exactly when I'm getting out. So the police found out that I actually didn't do the crime. But the little kid named Raymond, he actually framed all this on me. Because he was scared. Yeah, that's who I killed. And I ain't proud of it. But his attitude got me really, really full of anger. Like, somebody had to shut him up. But now that his other 3 guys snitched on me and my crew, I'm just gonna let all that go. Really? You gonna give up your gang life for right now to get my head straight? And so it's kind of like his father contacted Darren in person. So 18 months went by. I mean, almost 2 years. And this is how it turns out. Darren Hughes, his father, and Darren's 4-man crew, they all got released on the same day. Darren's mother was so happy to see both her son and her man out of jail together. A father and son coming to terms, a better life. Meanwhile, his 4-man crew did the same thing. And they all celebrated their release at let's say at the Waffle House. Chicken and waffles, in other words. Meanwhile, the rival three without Raymond, they had their comeuppance. But based on the fact that they actually got into it with another gang. They got one gang in jail, but the other gang, it was worse. It was like 10 brothers. 10 brothers against 3 guys. Now you know that was an instant kill right there. And as DJ Quick once say, you need to stop watching that Colors and Boys in the Hood and think about what goes on around you. Even in the holiday season, you got to be aware of who's the bad guy, who's the victim, who's the good guy. And that's exactly what was on my mind, especially when my cousin Dolly Greer mentioned it on one of her Facebook live videos, quite asking, am I the victim, am I the villain, or am I the victor? As in, am I victorious? Did I win? There's some things that you need to know and ask yourself, even in the holiday season. Because in Christmas, there's a good one and there's a bad one. I'd rather be nice than to be naughty. But also, I'd rather be naughty by nature like KG, Vinny, and Tretch. And just celebrate in the holiday spirit. Hip hop hooray. Have a jamboree. All that and a bag of chips. But be careful, ladies and gentlemen, on how you going to take care of business. Like what you going to see yourself do on the holidays. Would you see yourself out of harm's way, or would you rather see yourself either locked up in a hospital bed or dead? Because everybody can die in Christmas as well over random things, bad things. So please be cautious of what you're doing, especially in Christmas shenanigans. Now, it's not just for Christmas. It applies every day that you live, from January to December, from New Year's Day to New Year's Eve. It keeps going on and on until another one bites the dust. With all that being said, Darren, his 4-man crew, his father, they finally learned their lessons on how to live life and do things right. Even though the cops did make a fool out of themselves and believing a lie by a kid who later became a leader, gunned down to the fact that the other 3 gang members retaliated by snitching on the drive-by incident, to later causing ruckus and ending up dead by another gang, which is 7 more people. A 7 people advantage over 3. But I would never in my life expect a lot of people to do dumb things on Christmas, bad things, when we ought to do good. So do good to others before it's too late. With all that being said, there you have it. Christmas, like what is Christmas? Whether is it good, if it's bad, good or bad, you got to know what it means in Christmas. And also, thank you very much for spending your quality time with me, Taylor Jones. And make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Click the notification bell and there will be more in stores. And the link for the last episode will be in the description bar down below. And also, we can't end this holiday episode of Cold Man's Winter Season 4, Episode 2, without mentioning Sweet Lady of the Week. And for this Sweet Lady of the Week, I give it to none other than my cousin, Peria Johnson. And to Peria Johnson, If you're watching this, I never forgot about you. And that's all there is to it. And with all that being said, this is yours truly, Taylor Jones, signing out. And also, have yourselves a very Merry Christmas.